Mr. Gagandeep from Sarla Aviation with us, and he's designed this incredible aircraft Shunya. We're hoping to get some more information about this aircraft out there. Could you tell us about it, please?
Sure, sure. First of all, welcome to Sarla Aviation. Definitely thanks for visiting us. So yeah, we have our first full-scale aircraft that we are actually trying to launch in early 2028. That's called Shunya. And the motivation behind keeping the name Shunya is that everything starts with zero. That's why we thought, okay, let's name our aircraft Shunya. And one more fact I would like to tell you, the name Sarla Aviation the motivation behind Sarla is that we have dedicated this company to Sarla Thakral, who was the first female Indian pilot. And so we have dedicated this to her, and that's the motivation of us. And now let me tell you a few facts about the Shunya. So Shunya, we are trying to market it as air taxi. It can seat up to 6 people without the pilot, but 6 plus 1 with the pilot. So it will be basically a piloted aircraft. It has a capability of vertically taking off like a helicopter and then going forward like a normal aircraft. So I can say it's like a hybrid for layman term. But the term is called eVTOL, electrical vertical takeoff and landing. That's the term used to, let's say, basically specify this. And then it's fully based out of basically battery power. It's totally electric. And let me focus on the range. So it can go up to 160 kilometers. But it is being optimized for the within city travel, let's say up to 40 to 50 kilometers. And another thing that basically the great thing, the total differentiator that we have from the other companies, that is the costing. So let's say if you have to go from point A to point B and you take a Ola or an Uber, and so we are actually comparing with the Ola and Uber basically premium version. So our costing per seat that you have to bear will be around that. So it
On par with the
on par with that, yeah. So that we are trying to aim. I can definitely say we will be very close to that. So you will not have to pay more, but you will save a lot of time. As it will be flying much faster than a normal cab, let's say 5 to 6 times faster. So that's an overview of Shunya, what we are trying to offer. And Sarla doesn't only proclaim as an aircraft manufacturer. Our aim is to set up the overall ecosystem, let's say from vertiports, everywhere setting up that, the charging infrastructure, basically these service providers, the operability, the route definition. And for that we have actually partnered with some of the high players. Recently we raised 10 million in the funding. Yeah, thanks for that. And I would like to focus at today as our first anniversary. So whatever has happened, whatever we have achieved till now has happened in just 1 year. And we are building this for the India. It will be a totally make in India product. We don't want to have anything from outside. We want to claim that it's a totally made in India product and for the world. First for the world, because India has a lot of opportunities, I would say. And yeah, that's about Shunya.
That's wonderful. India is a large market, and like we hear him say that we want to tap into this beautiful market and give everyone a piece of, the benefits of low-priced, quick travel and good connectivity. About the configuration, when you said we can seat 6 people, is the configuration rigid, or can it be arranged in a way to accommodate something else like cargo?
Yeah. So our plan is to launch as a mass air taxi provider first. So that's how we have kept the 6 seat configuration. But in the future, if let's say our company has a plan to launch it as an air taxi in the phase 1, and let's say if we shift to the phase 2 or phase 3, so it has a use case of using it as an air ambulance or as basically a business jet with a 4-seated configuration, or as a cargo also. Like up to us, whatever we want to use.
So when you say business jet, it's like a class or diversification,
Yes, class.
luxury and
Yes. Everything can be done, but that is in the later phases. So our first aim is to solve the traffic problem of the common people. Once we have everything developed, basically the overall ecosystem, then we can offer them the overall variants. But for now, our focus is to aim for the air taxi service.
So what do you think a consumer is looking at when they're considering traveling by a drone cab? You know, what do you think are the most important factors they're considering? Are they looking at safety? Are they looking at pricing? Are they looking at connectivity and network that you all have? Or are they looking at classes like luxury? You know, what are the facilities and amenities you all can provide? What do you think consumers really want?
I think consumer from the Indian market would definitely be attracted by the costing that we have kept. That is another point. But the farmost point is, I would say, the topmost point is safety. Because if it's not safe, anyone would not like to travel in this. So safety is also one of the core things that we have made sure that Shunya is safe. Let's say if one of the component fails, it is made like that you will be safe, you will still be able to fly. Or in the worst case, you can land very safely.
So safety always comes
Safe
first.
comes.
And India is known to be a very price-sensitive market. So in case, in the initial stages, now we're trying to break even probably at this phase. So what do you think the average customer is willing to pay a premium, 10%, 25%, 50% for this mode of commute? Do you think what kind of premium are passengers willing to pay as per your studies?
We have even got the queries to even buy the jet right now. So I think people are quite excited about it, about Shunya, because it's a new thing for the Indians. And another attractive point for the Indians is that it's made in India. It's just up to us that we need to prove that Shunya is safe and Shunya is cost effective. That out of their pockets they would not need to shell a lot of money.
So, do you think consumers are actually ready to try out this mode, or do they need a little convincing? Like,
I think there are two kinds of people. One are the safe players and one are the risk takers. So the risk takers, I would say, are already ready to fly. We are already getting, so I think the day it was in last October when the first big news of Sarla came out, that we actually had a partnership with one of the airports in the Bangalore, and that day people even asked us when it will start flying. We want to settle that. So I think people are ready, but for it to have mass acceptance, it will take some time. If you see in the history, whenever a new mode of, let's say, a transportation was evolved, it took some time. People needed some time to accept that, be it railways or cars or whatever. So I think similarly, people will take some time, but yeah, I am truly confident that people will accept it.
so when you said pricing, did you all consider things like luggage? Will you all charge per person, per passenger, or will you all charge as per the weight load that they come with, the person's actual weight plus the luggage that they come with? What is your pricing based on?
We have not yet fixed on the pricing, but yeah, I can definitely say there would be a luggage limit. We need to limit the luggage because the overall weight capacity of the aircraft is fixed. We can't exceed that weight. So that's why I can't tell you the exact numbers for now, but sure, the luggage will be there. We have a luggage box at the end of the aircraft where you can keep your luggage. But I can definitely say it will be a number which will comparatively to the normal aircrafts.
So like normal civil aviation aircrafts, there's checked-in baggage which is not accessible to passengers, and you can get all kinds of things, unsafe things, if I may say. And there is your cabin baggage which is accessible to the passenger. So when you say there's a luggage compartment, will that be accessible to commuters or will it not be accessible?
It will not be accessible to the commuters because the luggage compartment is at the end of the aircraft and has a separate door, a separate window to the luggage. But yeah, if they carry something in hand, we also have a box between the two aisles of the seats. So there's a bigger box there you can keep your hand luggage if you have a laptop or a coat, let's say, very small items.
Since you mentioned aisle, so I'm imagining 2 seats on one side, another 2 on the other side.
No, sorry, my mistake. So it's two-seated configuration, but let's say the galley that is there, that has a box. So in that galley you can keep the luggage, let's say a small item, hand
So everyone gets a window seat basically.
Yes, everyone gets a window
Window
seat.
and aisle.
Yes.
So you can't charge excess based on seating, correct?
No. Everyone gets a window seat.
That's one good thing. Everyone gets a good view. Everyone gets access to the aisle as well.
And another thing I would like to point out is everyone has their own doors. It's not like a one door. So we have doors on both the sides, so that the passengers can hop up and hop in very easily.
You know, the rafts and the slides and all of that, is that even required?
So I would say the certification norms have yet to be defined. Depends on the certification norms, what the certification authorities want us to have, that safety procedures or the emergency procedures. We will have to abide by them and depend on them.
And most aircrafts, at least flying above a certain altitude, need the cabin to be pressurized.
Yes.
So will these be pressurized?
No, it will be a non-pressurized cabin because it is not going to fly that high. So you need basically a pressurized cabin if you fly, let's say 6,000 feet above in the air. So it's for the intra-city travel, and I don't think it will be flying that high that you need basically a pressurized cabin.
Okay, it's wonderful. And tell me something, are you all going to charge surcharge like Uber and Ola does? Peak timings, your charge double. Is that going to be something?
I'm not sure about that. I don't want that to happen personally because I want every Indian to give Sarla and Shunne a chance to experience that. And but depends everything on the pricing strategy, how our business team would see, and there's another 3 years to finalize that. So I would say that in another 2 to 3 years you will definitely know.
And which cities, or not necessarily cities, but what are the zones you all are looking at starting your pilot projects at?
So for now, currently the pilot projects we start is out of basically Bangalore, and the current scope that we have showcased on our website is from the ECT to the Bangalore airport. So it's around 45 kilometers, what I assume, and that travel by the cab takes 2.5 hours at least because of the Bangalore traffic. Yeah, it's really horrible. And with the Shunne, we aim to do that same distance in under 15 minutes and almost the same pricing. So that's the aim. Let's see. So that would be our first pilot project, and then we also aim to build multiple vertiports within the city itself, and let's see. We'll start with that. Once we basically mature on all the things that are happening, then we'll expand to the other cities as well.
Bangalore seems to be a good start because they're very welcoming in terms of technology any which ways. But tell me something. From the airport to particular points only, right? You can't have a last mile option with eVTOLs, or can we?
We can have, actually depend on the routes that we want to build. So it's totally dependent on us where we want to build. As I said, for the start, that's our aim that we'll be starting with. But our target is not only focusing to the airports, it's within city travel. You can travel to anywhere within city. Because Bangalore itself has a diameter, let's say, of 50 kilometers. It's really huge. So going from one corner to the other in the peak hours can take you more than 3 hours within city. So that we also want to aim. So that the place that I told you that will fly from ECT to the airport is just one of our first places. But that is not an aim. So don't see us as a air taxi for the airport.